Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Figma Griffith figure. This is from the Berserk anime. Very cool show. Check it out. If you're wondering if this is a boy or a girl, if you haven't seen the show, he is a male. Believe it or not, he is a male. Watch the show and you may end up liking him, you may end up hating him, but just don't get confused that he looks like a girl, because he's not a girl. You'll probably end up not liking him since he ends up being kind of a jerk, but watch the show and you'll see. He stands about 6 inches tall, so pretty good scaling with guts, and he looks awesome. Figma did a really good job of making this guy look sweet. This silver is really shiny and metallic, and he has a very nice presence to him. It looks very cool, very well detailed. Love the way they put this figure together. Before we talk about him anymore though, let's talk about accessories. He comes with the standard Figma display stage and a baggie for all the accessories, but you don't need to see that. He comes with a really nicely detailed sword, and if you're wondering how he's supposed to ever get his hand in there, all you have to do is pull the blade out, put the hand in there, and then slide the blade through, or the handle through the hand, and back into the rest of the hilt and pommel. I believe that's what that's called. I don't know though, I don't remember. But really cool sword, the way they detailed that gold edge all the way through there. Very well done. He has a helmet, which I can show you with his alternate face. Now, funny thing about the alternate face is it's almost the exact same. The brows are a little furrowed and his eyes are off to the side, but it's basically just the same standard face. And that's because he doesn't express too much emotion in the show in the beginning, so that's probably it. But as far as the helmet goes, really nicely detailed, looks really cool. You just peg the face on here, pop the other head off completely, put this one on, put the face on here, and this is soft by the way, so it won't break too easily. And then you want to put the top of the helmet back on, or the front of the helmet. Now, this one does not want to stay in. I've had one of these guys before and it stayed in a little bit better, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but there's his helmet. Looks kind of cool. It reminds me a lot of, what was that? Shoot, I cannot remember now. I can picture the character, but I can't remember what it's from. But it's a really cool looking helmet, so there's that. Okay, and then almost lastly, we have the tree of hands. So he's got 2 open palm hands, 2 gripping hands, 2 angled gripping hands, 2 variety hands, whatever you want to call those. They're all very well done. They have this really cool armor plating on them. Looks awesome. Then he also has 2 alternate hands, 2 extra hands that are just the loose palm hands. So he's got a whole bunch, and the other one is just the other side of this. But very, very well detailed, very cool looking. Maybe the thing I'm thinking of is just something from this show, and I can't talk about it anymore because I'll reveal a spoiler. I think that's what I'm thinking of. And then lastly, we have a cape, which is a mixed media cape. It's a very shiny, white, platinum-y cape. And then we have this sculpted part up here. This is definitely better than the Black Soldier version of Guts, but I don't know if I'm sold on the mixed media. I still think I prefer the sculpted capes, but I don't know. That's up to you anyway. They didn't do a bad job with it at all. It's just my personal preference. So let's peg this in and put his head back on, and as you can see, it doesn't look bad at all from the front. Doesn't look really bad at all from the back. It's just kind of, the material's a little bit stiff-ish, so it's going to hang mostly like a sheet of paper. But it doesn't look bad, and it will droop on the table. It's just, as you can see, it's not super soft, so it's going to kind of stay rigid. But it still looks cool, and they did a good job with it, so it's just a matter of personal preference if you like that. Cape does look good on him, though, so can't complain. Definitely better than the Black Guts one. Come on. Pop off without breaking or tearing or anything. The one bad thing about reviewing figures people lend you is that you're always conscious of the fact that if you ruin it, you have to pay for it, and that's not good, instead of just fixing it and being done with it. But anyway, thanks to Drunk Panda Inc. for sending me all of these figures to review, so you guys get to see them. I do appreciate that. So the head articulation we already talked about. Is his neck articulated? I don't remember. Yes, but very limited due to the sculpt of his armor. Just like Casca, we have the little soft straps up here, so that looks cool. Shoulder articulation still kind of limited, but not horribly. You can see you can tuck the arm in up there. No real problem. You can see the ball peg very easily on that, so that's how the arm moves around there. We have the hinge for the shoulder itself, and then we have a bicep swivel for the a peg going down for the bicep swivel. The armor is technically loose. Actually it's not, it's just a glued on piece. I thought his was soft like Casca's, but I guess this part's not. My bad. This part's soft though, so that's nice. It won't get in the way of moving the arm forward. We have the standard hinge for the elbow, which will allow for additional bicep swiveling, so that's good. And then the standard wrists, also sculpted hardened plastic right here. Torso articulation, that's it right there. So we have a ball peg going down, standard peg going up, and then a hinge in the middle. So that will give us the swivels and everything. And this is actually fairly stiff sculpt, so be careful with that. This part is a little bit soft, and we actually get a swivel in his sword sheath, his scabbard, so that's really cool. A nice added feature that Casca didn't have, so I do like that. We're going to leave that off for now so I can show you this a little more easily. For his crotch piece, this whole thing is a floating crotch piece technically. It's all really soft plastic, and what we have underneath is the standard 3-way ball peg, and you can't see it, but there's a ball peg, at least I think it goes up. Yeah, standard 3-way ball peg. There's an intermediate torso piece in there. That peg goes into there, and then we have 2 pegs, or 1 peg coming off on either side that goes into that hip socket. So the hips move around on that, and then they can swivel around also independently. And then you can move the legs up like this. And you don't want this piece on top. You can if you want to, but you want to leave that tucked underneath. I just folded those up so you could see how soft they are, and so you could see the articulation a little bit better. But this piece here and this piece are both soft. They will not get in the way of the articulation too much. You shouldn't have too much trouble posing him at all. And like I said earlier, looks really cool, very shiny, and they did a great job of making it flexible without making the paint flake or chip or wrinkle or anything. So very, very well done on that. Standard Figma knee joint, but one of the best things about this figure is they put this thing around the knee. It's just kind of a little floating piece that sits up on the joint, but it hides the knee joint. So seamless knee joint for the most part. Very, very cool. And still good range of motion. Ankles, standard Figma joint. Good range of motion though. Much better than Guts, so that's cool. We have the sculpted spurs. You can rotate that around to get an ankle rocker. Really no problems there. So all in all, it's a very, very, very well done figure. It's just a matter of if you like the character or not. I personally, I don't know if I'll buy it just because I don't know about the character. But if I get Guts, I might grab a Griffith just to go with it. If they reissue him, I probably will just not bother. Wow, I probably will get him and just not bother with the Black Soldier Guts. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think you'll like the figure. If you're a fan of the show, you'll probably want to try to track one of these down or wait for a reissue. It's very, very well done. Stick around for some photos at the end, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.